Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to true these wheels again because the spokes got all loosened up after riding them off the curves and stuff. I noticed that some of them are kind of loose, and although the wheel is fairly true on a lateral basis, I can feel that it's gone a little bit off of center. So I have to take all this apart, take the wheel off, take the tire and inner tube off, and then I'm going to true it again, center it and true it again. I'm going to do it without a truing stand. I'm just going to do it here with I'll put some things on the sides to be able to measure it, and I'll show you how how I do that. And you can usually do it normally with by eye. You can get pretty good, but my eyes aren't so good, so I'm going to build a truing stand out of the frame. Get the wheel and the inner tube off, and I'll be back to forgot about the brakes. And I'll be back when we have that done. Okay, so what I've done here is I got just a new clean spatula thing that I use for walls and stuff. And anyway, it's made out of plastic, so it's a good material, and it's flat. And I taped it on there, and so you can see the space there. And this is how you can tell that it's completely off radius. It needs to be centered. You see that? Okay, and so this is what I'm going to use in order to get it back on center. And then once it's back on center, I'll true it again laterally. Okay, so now I got my spoke tool here, but before I do that, I'm going to put a little drop of this 3-in-1 oil in each one of these spoke nipples to loosen them up and make sure that they all get in there evenly. So what I do is I just start off on the there you go, right next to the one where the valve is, valve hole. I have a little drop in every one. And now what I'm going to start to do is look for some of these that are a little tight and loosen them up again. And start the wheel afresh. That's what I like to do. So I loosened some of the other ones. As I loosened some of the other ones, the ones I had loosened before tightened up because the wheel started relaxing and getting back to its natural shape. So now I have to go around again a second time. Make sure these are all nice and loose. Oh, okay, this is nice and loose. Look at that. How that wheels just fall over the place. But it's better and it's more centered. So what I'll do now is set these again. And I'll pump there to get these set up. And what we'll do is we'll start tightening them all up just a little bit at a time. First I'll hand tighten them. And then we'll go around with the screwdriver and kind of a quarter turn. And just like that all the way around. And we'll start making sure that on this thing here It's and this should be the last one. Okay, and as you tighten them, you have to always squeeze them around so that they set. Squeeze all the spokes out, and then start setting. So we're a little off now. So here we want to take it in a little. So we look at the turn. Okay, well I can't. Can't really find it, it's too faint. So what I'll do is I'll chew it up laterally now. And so that you can see that. I'll see if I can move the bike over and reposition everything so I can show you how I do it. Chew it all laterally. Okay, well I didn't want to bore you with the details. But what I've done basically is I just took a couple of pencils and I stuck them with some tape on there, some electrical tape. And what I'm going to do is I'll start chewing it using those pencils, you see. And I take my tape measure here and I start measuring, from the chainstay over to the pencil end. And both of these should come out equally when I'm done. And then I'll know that the wheel is in the center of the between the two chainstays, and therefore will also be in the center of the brake. And I will have gotten the offset correctly, the offset between the gears and the rim. So the rim has to move over this way. So you have to move this a little bit so it comes right on the center, there. And that's what we're going to shoot for. So let me get set up and we'll start doing that. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to look for the worst part of it, which seems to be around here. Let's see. Yeah. And I'm going to start pulling the wheel over this way, towards the center, because this pencil is a lot shorter than this one right now. And so I want to try to get it to move over to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tighten all the spokes that come out from this side, and it'll pull the wheel over that way. And I'll start with just giving it a okay, let's measure again. And the distance here is okay, so here you can see how far along I've gotten. We're doing alright. Let's see if I can get that in there up close. We're not bad. We're still needs a little more. As you can see, it's still wobbling a little there. But we're down about 1 millimeter on one side and another millimeter on this side too. Figure. Yeah, see it. You can see that there. So we're doing all right. And as you can see here, there's no wiggle between the that red spatula there and the wheel, so we're keeping it radially aligned on center. And well, that's about it. I'm going to finish it off here. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but that's basically how I managed to get a wheel pretty, I mean, tuned enough, you know, so I can have the brakes. Over here you can see the front wheel. Let's see, let's get over here. And the front wheel, the brakes are like real tight up on there. You could barely tap on them and they just hit, and the front wheel's doing good. Yeah, so it needs a little adjustment, but it's doing good. Look at that. See that? That's not too bad. I got a little wobble in there. I'll fix it up right now. But the front wheel's still good, and we'll get the back wheel just as good or better. And always remember, after you tighten, give them a squeeze, get them to set in there. That's the main thing. Because otherwise, when you start riding it, it immediately will go out of tune. You just immediately go out. And if you have to, like I had to do a lot, there's a lot of potholes and curbs here that I have to jump. You know, that's gonna definitely make the ride home a little bit harder, because if it's off the center on and it's rubbing against your brakes and everything, and you're just putting in a lot of effort for nothing. And this is one last look at how it ended up. As you can see there, we're doing pretty good. There's a little bit of wobble, but it's barely noticeable. I don't think I can get any better without a tuning stand. And that's it. Now all that's left to do is put it all back together and blow up the tires, get out and use the damn thing. As you can see here. Not bad, huh? Could be better. But I've spent enough time on it, and it's just a beach cruiser.